Hey guys, first regardsman here. I'm going to be talking about one of the most powerful Bulwark builds for Siege Mode in patch 8.0 Space Marine 2. Now the Bulwark is a proper S tier pick for Siege Mode. This was the build that Zambit and I took to a Wave 32 hard mode Siege on a true duo, and overall, he just does everything. He pumps out serious damage on top of having incredible survivability and an amazing team impact. And the weapon we're going to be going over first here is the Power Fist. The Power Fist is the most powerful melee weapon in Space Marine 2, and the Artificer block version does a truly staggering amount of damage to bosses. This is the main reason the Artificer version is good. Even though it has a speed 1, the charge attacks on the Power Fist are not affected by the speed stat, and the charge attacks are really all that matters on this weapon. They have amazing cleave, amazing horde control, amazing boss damage like I mentioned previously, and overall the Artificer version is just the best for that because Adrenaline Rush stacks will just trigger absurd damage, and that's really all you need in Siege Mode for the most part. You can also take the Balance version if you want. This does hit similar breakpoints to the Artificer block version, but overall this one is the best. Now the perk tree here is Perpetual Strength into Heavy Preparation. Heavy attack preparation times reduced by 30%. Applies to the following attacks: Thrust Jab, Back Fist, Hammer Hook, Back Fist 2, Thrust Jab 2. Now Thrust Jab is really all that matters here for the most part, mainly because, you know, just charging up your attacks is the most important thing on this weapon, and it's kind of a mandatory pick for that reason. Then we go up here to Perpetual Strength into Focused Intention. When your health is below 30%, you take 50% less health damage while preparing heavy attacks. This perk is amazing. This lets you get your heavy attacks off very often, mainly because you have so much survivability already with perks like Steel Within, Scramble Targeting, and Conviction over here. And when you stack all of these together on top of this perk, you pretty much take 0 damage, or like a 90% total damage reduction or something crazy like that, and you can just punch people in the face for your low HP, especially versus Chaos. And the next perk here is Tide of Battle. Power wave forward distance increases from 4 to 8. Applies to the following attacks: Thrust Jab, Back Fist, Hammer Hook, Back Fist 2, and Thrust Jab 2. This is just more range for your attacks, pretty much a mandatory perk as well. Then we go up here into Following Blow. Back Fist and Back Fist 2 can be performed instantly after a charged Thrust Jab or Hammer Hook. This perk is quite incredible because it helps you hit breakpoints. Like, if you get a Thrust Jab off and you Back Fist them, you will go send a lot of guys into the actual execute stance. That's why we take this. Then we go down here into Strength of Will. While performing a heavy attack, you take 20% less range damage, just more damage reduction, which this class is already very good at. Then we go over here to Combo. After a successful heavy attack, the next light attack deals 10% more melee damage. Pretty trash perk, but you have to take this to go into Majora's Slayer, which is melee damage against Majora's level enemies increases by 10%, and this perk is money. Now, as far as our secondary weapon goes, we do take the Plasma Pistol. The Plasma Pistol AoE gun strikes are incredibly valuable on Siege Mode, and its CHP regen is quite good as well. The Heavy Bolt Pistol is more consistent for this because it is instantaneous. However, this is pretty good regardless. And we do have the benefit of taking the Rate of Fire variant on the Bulwark, mainly because he doesn't really struggle with ammo because he has the Prestige perk, Auxiliary Reload. Melee kills like Extremis level or higher enemies restore your secondary weapons ammo by 1 magazine, so this pretty much just saves you on requisition points, just like Invigorating Icon does, which is why this class is so strong in general. And as far as our perk tree setup goes, we do still take ammo economy because even though we have Auxiliary Reload, more ammo is never a bad thing, and that's why we just go for the Rate of Fire variant on top of everything else. And that's pretty much all there is to talk about for the secondary. As far as our perk tree goes here, we do take Conviction first. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a very long uptime, and 25% health damage reduction will prevent you from getting damage nuked, which is a huge problem in later waves of Siege Mode. We have been brainstorming whether or not the Intimidating Aura will be better for wave pushing, mainly because you are on a timer in Siege Mode, so DPS is very important if you want to get to the highest waves possible. So Intimidating Aura might be better, but for now we do rank Conviction higher. Now, next perk we take here is Scramble Targeting. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 25% less damage from ranged attacks. This is basically always active when you need it because there are just so many enemies in Siege Mode, and 25% is a huge chunky number, and this will stack to like a base 50% damage reduction to range attacks on top of the Encompassing Aegis perk for the team perk here, and that is super chunky for you as a Bulwark with your 30% increased starting HP. And some people like Armor of Contempt. This perk pretty much sucks. It does basically no damage or like super pathetic damage, and you really shouldn't be blocking on the Bulwark because, once again, DPS is very important, and that's why the Power Fist is so good. You should be punching, not blocking, and when you are blocking, it should only be to get back your Invigorating Icon to keep yourself alive for the most part. But like Masterful Defense and Invigorating Icon, that's like 99% of your blocking in this game is to like get the regen off this. And really just pushing waves is just very important. And damage reduction is also much better for keeping you alive to get your rejuvenating effect off, which is why this perk's not very valuable. Honestly, this perk's kind of a noob trap, and like this is why the perk I've argued about the most, but it's just not that good. Next perk here is Still Within. When your health is less than 50%, you take 30% less health damage. This is just an incredible perk, especially for our block fist, because 30% less health damage is super chunky, and it activates when you need it the most, which is when you're below 50% HP. Super good, stacks on top of all your other damage reduction to make you absurdly tanky. Excellent perk. If you're taking the balance fist, you could take armor reinforcement, but block fist is overall better, so we take this. Now, as far as the team perk goes, a lot of people like advanced conditioning. This perk has kind of been outclassed by the focus restoration perk now. Every 30 seconds, all squad members automatically restore 1 armor segment. In this patch, this got lowered down from like a 40-second cooldown to a 30-second cooldown. Now it gives you like a total of 6 armor to your team every minute, and over like a 3-hour siege mode game, this comes out to like 90 armor boost for your entire team. And armor restore in this game is super valuable. Armor has a damage cap. Armor will come out when you need it the most half the time. Like if you're about to get smacked by a boss, any amount of damage from a melee attack will be reduced to 0 regardless of the amount of armor remaining. It also helps prevent chip damage. And whenever HP you do lose off of not having advanced conditioning, you will get back in a coordinated team with Invigorating Icon, because in our true duo to wave 32, we did not die. We just got timed out at the end, and we still had our Guardian Relics as well. So really, this is just a very, very powerful team combination to keep you alive, and Focus Restoration is wildly valuable, and Medicae in general is pretty easy to come by in the Siege mode as compared to Operations, and whatever's not available will be gotten back with Invigorating Icon, so that's why this perk is so good. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies within its area of effect. This is just more horde control or horde clear for your banner, pretty much like an S tier perk in this tree, and these other two aren't even close. Next one here is Invigorating Icon. This, no-brainer pick. When the banner is activated, all squad members regain maximum contested health, but recharges 50% slower. This is very easy to get back versus Chaos whenever you block a Soul Cannon, and you can pretty much just spam this out as much as you want versus Chaos. A little bit harder versus Tyranids, but you also need it less versus Tyranids. And overall, all healing effects are very powerful in the Siege mode because they save you on requisition points, but the Bulwark, unlike the Vanguard, does significantly more for your team than this guy's Unmatched Zeal does, which is why he is a higher ranked class. It's why this guy's S tier and Vanguard's like B for Siege mode. And this team comp here for Invigorating Icon, this is much better in a coordinated team. It's also on command, which means you can really strategically place it as opposed to like a global heal that is just like, that requires you to kill something. But that's the biggest thing about Invigorating Icon over the team perk of Vanguard, is that Unmatched Zeal is good. It will give you back a lot of HP, but the Bulwark does significantly more damage, on top of the fact that having an on command banner means you can use this when you're like, when you don't have an extremist to kill, and that is super, super important. And you can also just hold the line with this perk on top of just demolishing the entire horde with your Purity of Purpose, on top of planting this down to get your teammates up with rejuvenating effect. Overall, the Bulwark just has a stupidly high team impact, which is why he is so good in this. And the rejuvenating effect perk here, we think this is pretty meta currently. When the banner is activated, it revives incapacitated squad members within its area of effect. Now, in the Siege mode, it is very, very hard to get your teammates up if there's like a melee Terminator on you or something, or even like a Lictor. This is just instantaneous. This guy is almost always going to be the last one to die, and that's why rejuvenating effect is so meta. You could alternatively take inspiration for more damage, but overall, like, getting your teammates up will keep your damage higher than dying. So that's why this perk is so good. Like, it will help you out in an emergency, and in a 3-hour game, which is what it actually takes to get to like wave 30 plus on this, rejuvenating effect will come to effect at least once. So next perk here we take is Armored Advance. If you have armor remaining, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. No knockback is still incredibly valuable, even with the hyper armor built into the Power Fist. This will prevent you from getting like knocked back during your plasma shots to get your contested HP back. Super good perk. Pretty much always take this. Emergency countermeasure is good as well for horde pushing potentially, but for now we think this one's better. As far as our prestige perks go, we take Auxiliary Reload. Melee kills of Extremis level or higher enemies restore your secondary weapons ammo by 1 magazine. Already talked about this, super good for ammo economy. Then we take Overcharge. Charge attack damage increases by 20%. We are using the Power Fist, it's like a no-brainer. Powerful Shot, same thing, no-brainer. More range damage for your Plasma Pistol. And then Masterful Defense. Ability charge restored by 1% for every blocked range attack. This is absolutely S tier. Gets you back your Invigorating Icon more, especially versus Chaos. So pretty much always take this as well. And that is pretty much all there is to the Bulwark build. This really is an S tier build for Siege mode. Honestly, I'd struggle to find a better one outside like maybe changing around the Intimidating Aura here. But as far as like an S tier team comp goes, this guy is part of it. I would 100% take him over a Vanguard any day because his team impact is just tremendous. His boss damage output is staggering, and Vanguard's is pretty much pathetic by comparison. And he just does more overall. He keeps your teammates alive with armor restore, on top of having the healing effects that you would need to save on your requisition points, on top of horde clear, on top of absurd damage reduction, on top of being able to be super ammo efficient, which the Vanguard is not. You know, I just want to talk about this comparison for a little bit longer here because a lot of people think Vanguard's like this S tier pick for Siege mode. He is good in pubs. He's just not S tier for a coordinated team because, first of all, he has no ammo restore perks, so this guy eats into your ammo reserves far more, and he'll be buying ammo boxes and stuff, where Bulwark simply will not. He has less HP, less survivability. His only proper horde clear comes off of tactical prowess. He's basically a heal bot with unmatched zeal, and this one is a really, really valuable perk. It does save on requisition points, but he's not S tier based on like one perk, and this would normally be better than the Bulwark here, but with Bulwark, you can just take a tactical on top of your heavy, and tactical secure to stockpile will give him equipment recharge, where he usually has none, so it pretty much fills the only gap this class has, and Power Fist is simply too strong to not take and to push the highest waves of Siege mode, and Bulwark fits the niche of a support guy on top of a damage dealer very, very well, which is why he is so powerful and why he is the S tier class for a team comp, which is like Bulwark heavy tactical, probably the best team comp for Siege mode currently. Anyways, that's all I have to say in this video, and thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Peace.